Hello, I'm Lara Kulchersan and this is Newsfeed, your dose of what people are talking about online.
The world is changed, and some things that should not have been forgotten were lost. But the Ring of Power has a will of its own.
The ring has awoken. Sauron needs only this ring to cover all the lands of darkness.
What you just saw wasn't hand-drawn anime. It was created with ChatGPT 4.0. Over the weekend, social media was flooded with Studio Ghibli-inspired pictures, all thanks to OpenAI. The company recently launched its most advanced AI image generator to date. Users uploaded their photos, asking the chatbot to transfer them into Ghibli-style anime. The trend quickly took off. Known for its breathtaking animation, tranquil and handcrafted aesthetic, Studio Ghibli has set the gold standard for anime movies. Naturally, this has sparked debate, not just about copyright concerns, but also because anime legend Hayao Miyazaki is known for his strong opposition to AI.
たちは痛みとかそういうものについてね、何も考えないでやってるでしょ。極めて不愉快ですよね。そんなに気持ち悪いものをやりたいなら勝手にやってればいいだけで、僕はこれを自分たちの仕事をつなげたいとは全然思いません。極めて何か生命に対する侮辱を感じます。地球最後の日が近いって感じですね。それは人間の方が自信がなくなってくるから。
However, many artists and animators have criticized the results, arguing that AI-generated images lack the soul and craftsmanship of true animation. There's also growing concern that AI is stealing work from artists, replacing the valuable human creativity with algorithms.
While most people were probably excited to see themselves reimagined in Miyazaki's world, not everyone was on board, particularly artists and animators who called this out as art theft. OpenAI, of course, chose the deny route, and some people even backtracked after being called out, but the conversation didn't stop there. It clearly had the depth to perfectly mimic Studio Ghibli's signature style. And if AI can generate really high-quality art in seconds, what happens to artists that have spent years honing their craft? The argument that AI is just a tool falls apart when that tool is built on unpaid labor. AI models don't create. They borrow from real artists without their consent. It's essentially trained on stolen work, which is something that artists have actually been fighting against in court for a few years now. And with the animation industry already being notoriously underpaid, where does that leave animators?
Under strict orders from President Donald Trump to increase national security and screen who enters the US, border officials are now searching travelers' phones and electronic devices. The searches are non-negotiable and apply to all people entering the country, including US citizens. If officials are dissatisfied, citizens can have their devices confiscated, and foreigners will be denied entry into the US.
Important travel alert. If you're traveling to the United States, whether you're a tourist, on a work visa, a green card, even some US citizens, they will confiscate your phone. They will ask to search your phone. And they're looking for the following particular things. Did you post or say anything against this government? Any photos, any articles, anything negative? Did you participate in any demonstration, human rights support, or support any organizations that this government deemed legal or terrorist? Any of such findings could lead to your detention, prolonged questioning, and potentially even sent to immigration jail. This happened already to tourists, visa holders, and obviously green card holders. Even US citizens are being requested to surrender their phones. If you want to avoid any inconvenience, do not travel with your phone, use a burner phone, or simply check in your phone in your luggage.
They want to go through your phone. Can they do so? Yes, they can search your phone, laptop, computers, devices without probable cause, without a warrant. They can do a basic manual search where they ask you for your phone, ask you to unlock it, and then go through its contents, or they can do an advanced search where they can use forensic software, attach it to your phone, and then extract its data. And for that, they need reasonable suspicion, but they still don't need a warrant. If you refuse to unlock your phone and you're a US citizen, they can't deny you access into the country, but your phone may be detained. But if you're a non-citizen or a green card holder, they could deny you access to the US for not giving them your password. So if this all concerns you, do not travel with your normal cell phone. Back up and wipe your devices before traveling. And lastly, turn off Face ID. Make it so that you can only get into your phone if you enter a password.
Elon Musk's artificial intelligence company xAI has officially acquired his social media platform X. The deal consolidates two of Musk's companies, xAI valued at $80 billion and X worth $33 billion. Musk says the two companies are now intertwined and combines their data, AI models, computational power, and talent.
I think what's happening here is that he's used xAI and the current hype around artificial intelligence to raise money. Raising that kind of money for a social media company like Twitter or X is not viable. However, because AI is the new hotness, it's possible to raise a lot of cash fast. So the AI company xAI becomes the fundraising vehicle. And then xAI can justifiably purchase X, the social media platform, because it is a data play. All of the big companies right now are investing in training data for their artificial intelligences. There's a problem if all models are just trained on the internet, that they converge to the mean. They basically become the same thing. So the big play is to have your own proprietary data set. So for a company like Meta, it's Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. OpenAI has set up relationships with companies like Reddit. And the big play for xAI is having Twitter's data. Twitter is basically a fire hose of new information every single day, and that can be used to train and refine AI models. But of course, xAI already had access to all of this data because of the connection between xAI and X. Arguably, it did not need to purchase the company. So that's why I think he's used xAI to fundraise in order to bail out X. And I wouldn't be that surprised if we saw a similar play with Tesla later down the line.
Elon Musk continues to make headlines, this time for giving away $1 million checks to voters in Wisconsin. Musk announced the giveaway just ahead of the state's highly anticipated Supreme Court election set for Tuesday. This race has become a major battleground as it could flip the Supreme Court's control to the Republicans.
How does that affect us? This has to do with enormous power, especially when it comes to the voting rights, redistricting, major policy issues. It's a huge role in shaping the presidential election because it's a swing state. It also deals with absentee ballots. Basically, I don't want to say that it's messing with the election, but it's messing with the election. The race is between Judge Susan Crawford and Judge Brad Schimmel, and they're going at it. But Schimmel at the same time, well, actually not Schimmel, the District Attorney General Josh Kyle is suing Elon Musk for this super PAC giveaway, which I don't think is legal, and I don't see how they got through it the first time. I don't see how they're going to get it through this time.
Magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest of them all?
Famed is thy beauty, Majesty. But a lovely maiden I now behold.
It was a fairy tale remake, but not the happily ever after Disney hoped for. It's been just over a week since Snow White hit cinemas, and the live-action remake is still making headlines for all the wrong reasons. The highly anticipated film, starring Rachel Zegler as Snow White and Gal Gadot as the Evil Queen, was meant to bring a modern touch to a much-loved classic. Despite topping the North American box office, the film hasn't lived up to expectations, struggling with underwhelming reviews and a wave of controversy. Much of the backlash has centered on 23-year-old lead actress Zegler, who, some critics argue, hurt the film's release by voicing her strong opinions about the original.
Every single time I've seen her open her mouth to talk about playing the Snow White character and reimagining the story, it's to trash the original Snow White and prop up her version as the superior one.
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. Snow White has to learn a lot of lessons about coming into her own power before she can come into power over a kingdom. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
And if you feel the need to change this much about the original source material, why even make it?
The cartoon was made 85 years ago. It's extremely dated.
I've never once heard her say, oh, it's such an honor to play this character. Oh, I can't wait to do it justice. Oh, I'm so grateful for this opportunity. No, it's only, how do we fix this garbage property I've been saddled with?
Adding fuel to the fire, Zegler has also been accused of dragging her personal politics into the film's PR campaign.
Why did the producers of Snow White attribute the failure of the film to Rachel Zegler's personal politics? Son of Snow White producer Mark Platt has slammed the film's lead, Rachel Zegler, for immature social media posts that he claims hurt the film's prospects. First of all, in August 2023, when Rachel Zegler shared the Snow White trailer on Twitter, she incidentally expressed her support for the Palestinian people. After Disney executives learned the news, they were scared out of their wits and hurried to take a plane to find Zegler and asked her to delete this tweet, but she refused. In desperation, the executives had to find another actor, Gal Gadot, and asked him to post on Instagram in response, support for Israel. Secondly, it is the issue of the U.S. presidential election. After the election results were announced, Zegler posted a message to criticize Trump, causing the film to be boycotted again.
Disney may be shifting the blame to Zegler, but the controversy surrounding Snow White started long before its release. In 2022, Game of Thrones' Peter Dinklage, an actor with dwarfism, slammed the film's portrayal of the Seven Dwarfs, calling it backward. Disney responded by replacing the dwarfs with computer-generated imagery to avoid reinforcing stereotypes.
They just got rid of the dwarfs, okay?
Okay, but what do they call them?
Why would they get rid of the dwarfs, though?
Magical creatures.
But they have one token dwarf amongst these magical creatures. You actually just went backwards. You actually just erased the dwarfism side of it. The disability, like we're a disability group. There's power of being on TV. There's power of television. And to put 7 people with dwarfism on camera in a major Disney movie, there's still power there. If the story is offensive, change the story. Don't change the characters.
For decades, travel ads sold us a dream. Honeymooning couples, families at the beach, and groups of friends on a city break. But from solo adventures to multi-generational trips, female-first travel is on the rise this year.
More than 64% of the world's travellers are women, and they're the primary decision makers for 82% of family trips. But it's not just group getaways. Solo female travel is surging, with nearly 40% of women planning a solo trip in 2025.
Sometimes there will be no one to go with. No one else is down to do what you want to do. But that is not an excuse to miss out. Just because somebody else doesn't want to see it doesn't mean you don't. So stop waiting. You just gotta go by yourself.
Women aren't just traveling more, they're traveling smarter. For many, picking a destination isn't just about stunning views or 5-star resorts, it's about safety, cultural attitudes, and accessibility. Topping the list of best places for solo female travelers are Spain, Portugal, Australia, the Nordic countries, Thailand, Singapore, New Zealand, and Indonesia. Japan, with one of the world's lowest crime rates, is a particular favorite. This country offers women-only train cars and capsule hotels designed exclusively for female travelers, making it one of the most stress-free destinations for solo women.
Coming in at number 1 is my favorite country in the world to travel to, which is Japan. Boasting one of the lowest crime rates in the world, I have been coming here solo since I was 15 years old and have never had any issues.
I specifically chose to stay at this capsule hotel because it was women only. I'm an anxious traveler. I didn't want to have to think about staying with men. I just felt so much safer and comfortable in this shared living space with only women.
I've never been to a country where I've seen women only boarding toys, and during peak hours, women are only allowed in a carriage. I mean, I think it's amazing that women have that safe space.
Solo travelers are also using their experience to uplift other women. Online, female travelers are sharing city guides featuring women-owned businesses, cafes, hotels, and shops, alongside travel recommendations, safety tips, and meetup opportunities for fellow solo adventurers. Travel agencies are taking notice, expanding women-only tours to cater to the rising demand. And they're not just for young, free-spirited backpackers. The biggest increase in solo travel is among women aged 55 and up, with 21% choosing to go it alone instead of traveling with a spouse or children. And they're not just sightseeing, they're set jetting, visiting filming locations from their favorite movies and TV shows more than any other generation. With senior discounts making travel more affordable, women over 60 are proving that adventure has no age limit. And that's our show. Find our latest stuff on YouTube and do subscribe to our channel. See you soon.